Alright everyone, I am back with another Wi-Fi battle, and this battle is going to be in the RU tier this time, and my opponent is going to be Jotaro once again. But before we start this battle, let me just clarify one thing here. I am aware that Sharpedo is banned now in the RU tier, but you have to realize that this battle is also a retrospective one, and this battle actually took place before Sharpedo was banned still, like when Sharpedo was still legal in RU. So, and Jotaro can testify to that as well, because he's the kind of guy that would tell you, hey, wait a minute, Sharpedo is banned. But he did not tell me that, so therefore Sharpedo was in fact legal in the past. Well, yeah. But anyway, this is the battle now. His team's pretty well built, it seems, and mine is also pretty decently built, I guess. So here, what he's gonna lead off with King Slime, which is the Goodra, shiny Goodra by the way, which looks like ice cream, not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm gonna lead off with Rotom Heat here, and I'm definitely gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp because unfortunately I do not have Toxic on this Rotom Heat. I usually carry it Toxic so that I can hit fire types with, you know, something, because if I try Will-O-Wisping, they'll just switch into a fire type and they'll just be immune to it. So it's like, nah, that's not what I want. But I didn't carry it here, so I'm just gonna go for it on the Goodra. It was also for bulky mons like Goodra that I also run Toxic as well on Rotom, because they can easily wall Rotom. So it's like, yeah, I think I should just like carry Toxic, but I didn't here once again, as I said. And I'm just gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp nonetheless on the Goodra just to get the residual damage. As you can see, this Goodra has already went for 2 Sludge Waves. I'm guessing he's predicting me to switch into Gardevoir at this point, which I don't, because I know that doing that is risky, and I know that Sludge Wave or Sludge Bomb is a coverage move on Goodra for those fairy types, and Gardevoir just happens to be one as well. So here I'm gonna go for the Volt Switch just to switch into Seismitoad, because what I wanted to do here was just definitely get my rocks up, because plus I was also seeing him go for Sludge Waves as well, so I figured, okay, he's probably gonna go for it again. I don't think he's gonna go for Draco just yet. So here I switch it in, but he actually surprises me and goes for a Dragon Tail, and I'm actually gonna be phased out into Delmise. And I think here I just switch out because I do not want to take any form of damage on my Delmise, because this Delmise I might need it in case that Bronzong that he has in the back of its team happens to set up Stealth Rocks, and I could just Rapid Spin before taking a huge hit from anything. So yeah, I just go back into Rotom because I was still afraid of him just trying to predict me to go into Gardevoir for the Draco meter, but as you can see, I was like, nope, I'm definitely going into Rotom because this thing can take special attacks very well. And here I am going to Volt Switch yet again, and I think I just go back into what's it called, Seismitoad, because I still want to get those rocks up, because it's really important that I get them up, especially because what I'm trying to do here is once again try to set up my Sharpedo to actually just late game sweep. And if I can cripple things upon every single switch in with Stealth Rocks, then Sharpedo's gonna have a wonderful time, I tells you. But yeah, here Jotaro's gonna finally switch out, and I think here he went for, another, no, he just went for Sludge Wave, I think. And I just get my Stealth Rocks up. So yeah, here he goes into Bronzong, switching out, and I was like, yeah, I don't know. Here I just wanted to switch into Delmise because, well, I could burn with Scald on Seismitoad. I figure, I don't think it's necessary for me to try to take any damage, because I also was afraid that this thing would actually just try to set up Calm Minds or something. I know these things can also be the Stealth Rockers as well, but I didn't want to risk this thing possibly being, you know, some kind of Calm Mind set either. So I go into Delmise because this thing is physically offensive, so what I do here is just go for the Anchor Shot in case he doesn't switch out, and he doesn't. And then yeah, because the plan was to trap him and just start spamming Shadow Claw. But as you can see here, this guy just set up a Reflect, and I was like, oh great. This is bad because now the chances of me killing this Bronzong quicker are now reduced, and this thing is toxic now, so it's gonna take a lot of hits, a lot of Shadow Claws to KO this thing, unless I get a crit through to basically penetrate the Reflect, but I don't get that. And as a result, I'm gonna take more poison damage every single turn. And to make matters worse, he actually does get the Stealth Rocks up, and this is where I realized that, you know what, maybe trying to Anchor Shot this thing just to go for Shadow Claws was probably not the best idea, because now this thing is just going to basically wear me down with Toxic, and he just got his rocks up. And now I can't rapid spin because by the time I get rid of this Bronzor, this dumpster fire, which is a funny name by the way, I'm going to be completely, I'm going to be revenge fodder basically. So, because here I'm already under half, thanks to the Toxic. And here, instead of going for the Rapid Spin, because I kind of had a feeling he would try to go for Stealth Rocks again anyway. And I outspeed the Bronzong anyway, so he would just be able to go for Stealth Rocks all the time. So I wouldn't have even been able to Rapid Spin here. And from the HP that it was left here, the Delmice, I didn't think it was going to be able to survive any hit from there to take to go for a Rapid Spin. So yeah, I just figured go for Shadow Claw, take this Bronzong, or at least punish him for at least setting up the rocks, and he lost Bronzong now. Here he's going to go into Florges, and I was actually hoping I can outspeed this thing, but I actually get outspeed because Florges actually has naturally higher speed than Delmice, so I was like, okay. The Reflect thankfully wears off now though, so that's actually really good, because now I can go back to being a hard hitter and whatnot. But here what I do with Seismitoad here is actually try to go for Toxic. Mercy here is going to protect and scout what I'm going to go for. And he's going to see that I go for Toxic, and then here I guess he figures, okay, because he saw that that he protected. He's probably gonna think that I'm gonna want to go for Toxic again just to be sure I get this thing Toxic. Because the plan is that if this thing is a Calm Mindset, I can just put this thing on a timer. And if it Wish stalls, Wish protects a lot, I'll just be able to put it on a timer, like I said. But unfortunately, this thing actually does carry the Aromatherapy, which kind of negates the poison whenever it really wants to. So I'm like, oh great. So this Toxic was all for naught then. I think the only thing I can do here is actually switch out according to when he actually wants to go for the Aromatherapy. Or just switch prematurely as well, like I do here. And here I'm going to go into Rotom because if what he's going to try to do is actually just try to Wish stall me here, I can definitely just go for a Pain Split right here. Now as you can see, he does go for the Wish with this Florges, and I send in Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat. And I do anticipate either a Protect or a switch into something that's weakened, like Goodra, to come in and take the Wish. But just to be safe, just in case this thing has something to hit my Rotom for what it has left in the HP, I'm just gonna go for the Pain Split anyway. And he does switch out, and he does go into Goodra, so I was like, okay. This kind of hurts me a little bit because it now has just about the same amount of HP as I do, so this Pain Split literally only drops my HP to 1, so it's like, wow, that actually matters a great ton. Anyway, here he gets the Wish off, and once again, this doesn't really matter to me right now, just because I can once again go for the Pain Split and just take this thing out. Well, not take it out, but you know, weaken it, keep it weakened, so that actually, I'd be able to, you know, revenge kill it with something else, such as Sharpedo, because in fact, I think from where it's at right now, I think Sharpedo can actually just take it out with a Crunch. So here he's going to go for a Draco Meteor, and it's now going to be at -2. And I think what I do here is actually, I think here he's going to switch out the Goodra, because he's at -2. And he's going to go into Ferrari, which is this Feraligatr, and I think here what I'm going to do now is try to go for another Pain Split, because if I switch out Rotom now, because he still has the Stealth Rocks up, I'll lose Rotom if I switch it in next time because of how weakened it is. So I went for the Pain Split yet again, and then here I made a borderline risky play here. What I do here is switch out Rotom, knowing that this thing can Dragon Dance, and the reason why I did that is because if he stays in and Dragon Dances, it's just as risky as it is for me to have to predict him to switch out, or go for Waterfall, or go for Dragon Dance basically, because if he tries to Dragon Dance, he's just going to get Volt Switched. And it might KO him from where it's at, because this Feraligatr is clearly an offensive set, so yeah. Here I hard switch into Seismitoad, knowing that the Waterfall was coming, and I do get HP back thanks to the Water Absorb ability that this Seismitoad carries. And I do go for Earthquake here, and I think he went for a Dragon Dance, so I was like, okay. I just need to take one hit, and hope I can live it, and not get critted. And that's exactly what happens, and I'm now able to take out this Feraligatr with another Earthquake with Seismitoad, which is pretty cool. This is actually a cool KO here that I got with Seismitoad here. But yeah, here now he's going to go into the Satan, which is Shaman, which is funny. This thing ain't no Satan, Joder. Come on now. But here I have no switch-ins to a C Flare, so I just have to sack Seismitoad here. which could very well have been bad though, because I might have been able to need this thing for the Rhyperior, but I don't know. Here I go into Gardevoir just to go for Moonblast and take a Sea Flare. So because I'm Scarfed, I figured, you know what, I should be able to outspeed this and just two-shot it with Moonblast. But surprisingly enough, this thing is actually Choice Scarfed as well, so I was like, oh crap, are you, holy leather. I did not see that coming. I did not see that the Shaman would be Scarfed. Looking at his team, although it kind of makes sense because not the majority of his team actually would actually warrant a Choice Scarf, so I guess it makes sense, but holy cranberries, that actually threw me by, it threw me for a loop basically. Here I'm just going to lose Gardevoir as a result because it outspeeds and it didn't miss a single Seed Flare so far, so I was like, okay. Now what I'm going to do here is send in Rotom and just KO this thing with a Overheat, because I can't go for Volt Switch here. Especially now that I'm completely weakened now due to Stealth Rocks, that I won't be able to switch out, so I have to just KO Shaman right here. And then I do get to take it out after he hits another Sea Flare. This guy hit 4 Sea Flares in a row. That's actually kind of crazy. But anyway, here I take out the Shaman, and now he's gonna go back into King Slime. This King Slime is kind of withered down now, so it doesn't really matter what I go for here. It's still in range for my Sharpedo to finish it off too. So what I'm just gonna do here is go for Paint Split and just chip it even further. Increase the odds of me being able to take this thing out with Sharpedo, even though I clearly can at that point, because my Sharpedo is Adamant nature. So here he's gonna take out the Rotom for sure. And because he went for Draco Meter, this actually gave me an idea. I'm going to, instead of going for Sharpedo to get the revenge kill, I'm going to go into Beheeyem. And the reason I go into Beheeyem is because it can now take another Draco Meter from this Goodra, and if he switches out, I'll just be able to get some, I get to attack something else for free basically. And if it's Florges, that's fine, because I just hard switch into, I don't know, Sharpedo, or just let it die basically. So, but surprisingly, I outsped this thing while I went for the Psychic Terrain, and this thing actually just surprisingly goes for the Dragon Tail, so I was like, oh, okay then. That works even better for me, because now I can just go for the Psychic Fangs, which is why I set up this Psychic Terrain in the first place. I thought he was going to switch out, that's why I went for Psychic Terrain in the first place, but he just went for Dragon Tail, so he just phases me into Sharpedo, so this actually was a more ideal situation for me actually, because now I get the Psychic Fangs this. However, unfortunately, he still has this thing at full HP, so I was like, oh. So now I just have to hope that this Waterfall either KOs, or if it lives, it flinches, because if not, that may very well be the whole game. And as you can see, it actually does survive, and not only does it survive, it also has Weakness Policy, which means this is probably an offensive set with Rock Polish. And as a result, first of all, I'm definitely going to lose Sharpedo right here to just one Earthquake, because it's Stab, and it's +2 now. So yeah, I just lose Sharpedo here, and now I'm just going to send out my last Pokemon, which was Beheeyem, which could have boiled down to a Speed tie had this thing not been invested in Speed, but it's clearly a Speed invested one because it had Weakness Policy. So yeah, I'm just going to lose Beheeyem here as well. I do get outsped anyways, as you can see, because it probably was a Speed invested Rhyperior, so as a result, that crit didn't matter obviously, because it was at +2, and Earthquake is Stab, and Rhyperior's power is actually really high. So yeah, I do lose this battle. It was actually a really good battle though, from a man Jodor actually, because like I thought with this team I wasn't gonna do very well, but holy cranberries, I actually did a lot. It put in a lot of work, and I actually did feel like I made a lot of good plays that actually don't make me feel like I actually did anything wrong with what I had. I just felt that maybe the team was a little bit, just a tad bit underwhelming compared to his, so oh well. It was a good game nonetheless, so good game to my man Jodor once again. Once again, check him out because he's an awesome guy that I'm sure you'll have a good time if you just start interacting with the fella. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts below in the comments if you guys want to, and I'll catch you guys in the next battle. So until then, catch you later.